Hello students, welcome back to another English video lesson for classes 8. This is the second video for your grammar lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is adjectives. In our last video we discussed what are adjectives, what are the different types of adjectives, and we went through the examples of each kind. Now in this video we are going to discuss the textual exercises based on adjectives and its different kinds. Here is the first exercise. You have to use the opposites of the words given in the box to complete the sentences. As you all can see, the words are given, but we do not have to use that word. We have to use the opposite of a certain word. So the dash animal you see over there is so scary. Let us see which word will fit. There is a tiny word here. If we use the opposite huge, then that will be precisely correct for our first statement. The huge animal you see over there is so scary. So we have used this word, tiny. I liked her dash way of making us understand the concept. I think if we use the opposite of vague, which is precise, I liked her precise way of making us understand the concept. Finish your homework before your dash program starts. Favorite program, opposite of least liked. Favorite program. The room is full of the dash fragrance of your perfume. Amazing fragrance of your perfume. Opposite of awful. Out of 10, I shall do 5 for you. Rest you will do on your own in your book. I had a dash time convincing her to join us for the meet. We have a word easy over here, and the opposite of easy is difficult. I had a difficult time convincing her to join us for the meet. Alright, let us move on to the next one. However, let us first read these. Congratulations on the dash completion of the project. Select a word from the box and give the opposite of that word. Sam graduated from a dash university. After dash consideration, we have decided to give you admission. Here is an dash case. I will deal with her later. Eat plenty of dash fruits and vegetables. If you have any confusion, we shall discuss it in the live classes. However, please try to do this on your own first. First 5 has been already discussed. The next 5 only you have to do. Coming to the next exercise. Match the adjectives with suitable noun. So, we are going to see from column A and we are going to match it with column B. Which is most suitable? There are 8 of them. Let me do 4 for you. Closer inspection. Closer inspection. Fruitful results. Soothing voice. Elementary school. Rest you shall do on your own. You have to describe the adjective with the noun. Here are the definitions of the different types of adjectives and their examples. Match these definitions to the example. In our previous video lesson, we have discussed all these different kinds of adjectives and their examples with definition. Now what you have to do is read the definition, remember the example and match it. This you are going to do on your own because I have already discussed this in the last video. Coming to the next one. Fill in the blanks with suitable adjectives. Okay. Dash choices do I have? What choices do I have? Dash fun it is to roller skate. What fun it is to roller skate. Dash grandfather and I take walks together. My grandfather and I take walks together. The next 3 you shall do it on your own. I have discussed 3 with you. Coming to the other part. Using some, any, much, many, little, a little, few and a few. Let us first consider some and any. Some and any are also adjectives. Let us see how they have been used here. Susan and Mary are going on a school trip to the countryside. Susan wants to go to the market to buy certain things that they might need. Read this conversation between them. Susan says, I'm going to get some biscuits. Do you want me to buy some tea as well? Yes, please. Have we got any cheese? No, we haven't got any. We will have to buy some. Mary, did you pack any sugar? Yes, there is some in my rucksack. I have not taken my matchboxes though. Take some. There may not be any electricity out there. So there are the rules of using some and any. Some and any both can be used with countable and uncountable. For example, some milk, milk is uncountable. Some boys, boys are countable. Same way, any cheese, cheese is not countable, and any teacher, teacher is countable. So both can be used for countable and uncountable. But what is the difference between them? Some is generally used in questions when the expected answers are positive. When we know the answer will be probably positive, then in the question we use some. For example, should I get some tea? The answer expected is obviously yes, because they are living together, so she knows they must be running out of teas. It is also used with affirmative sentences, means in positive sentences we use some. However, any is used in questions and negative sentences. I'm going to get some tea, affirmative. Haven't we got any cheese? Question. Now let us note some, any, much and many can be used alone without a noun following them. Generally we see that an adjective is followed by a noun. But sometimes if the noun is already understood, then we do not need to use the noun here. For example, we will have to buy some. What will we buying? Tea, because they were already having some conversation about tea. We haven't got any. They haven't got cheese. She has already mentioned about cheese. There are many people who think traditions are important. We shouldn't spend much on unhealthy food. Much spend what? Money. So when the noun is already understood, we need not use it again and again, even when with an adjective. Let us come to the related exercises with some, any, much, many. Complete this conversation using some and any. Man is saying, my car met with an accident near the highway. Are there any doctors available? Asking a question. Are there any doctors available? Hospital staff. Surely. Do you have any injuries? Can I give you some medicine? Not really. I just have a headache. Have you got any aspirin? Can I buy some? Here are some tablets for you. If you have any problems, you can come back and meet the doctor. Thank you. I am hungry. Do you have some snacks to eat? I think we have some sandwiches and some oranges here. Would you like to have any? Would you like to have some? Both are correct. Yes, thank you. I don't have any change. Can I have some change to make a call? I've done the entire thing for you. Please write it down in your book. Coming to the usage of much and many. How many vegetables? How much money? So, the countable nouns use many and the uncountable nouns use much. Now using this rule of countable and uncountable, you have to pick out the correct adjective. There are many vineyards in France. We do not say much. Vineyards or vineyards we can count. That's the reason why they make so much wine. Wine cannot be counted. Not much money should be spent on children's accessories. Money is not countable. How much or how many? How many people love Chinese food? I don't need much help on this project. The government has executed many programs. Many questions were raised about the implementation of the plan. You're going to finish this in your book on your own. Come to the next part. Now, how to use little, a little, few and a few. You have to understand that little and few means none at all. For example, Chiang knows little English means he does not know English, but he can speak a few words of French. So when we use the article a with little and few, we are using them in the positive sense. However, when we use them without the article a, we are using them in the negative sense. And little and few are also a formal use. They are formal type of language. Similarly, I am working on this project with few people. Could you please give me a little support? Coming to the exercise where we are going to use little, a little, few and a few. I'm going to do a few for you and the rest you will go and do on your own. These boys do little exercise, that's why they are so unhealthy. Over here, little means they do nothing, no exercise at all, because it is being used in the negative sense. Tim is more interested in studies. He plays few active sports. That means he doesn't play active sports. Similarly, Ross eats few cooked vegetables. Few cooked vegetables. He prefers raw vegetables. That means he does not eat cooked vegetables. For lunch, he has a little cheese and some raw vegetables. Rest of these you will do on your own. Remember, when little and few have articles, they are in the positive sense, and when do not have the article a, they are in the negative sense. Now I've told you that how adjectives are formed. We can use suffixes to nouns, verbs and other adjectives even and make more adjectives. For example, scene is a noun and if we add the suffix ic, it becomes scenic, which is an adjective. Similarly, enjoy is a verb and if we use the suffix able, it becomes enjoyable and it is an adjective. In the same way, excess is an adjective and if we use the suffix ive, it becomes excessive, which is itself again an adjective. So use of suffixes leads to making or generation or formation of new adjectives. Now you have to pick out 3 nouns and verbs and adjectives of your own and make them into new adjectives. You can do this on your own. Okay, coming to degree of comparison. You must have learnt this in the previous classes as well. Now, any adjective exists in 3 degrees of comparison. The positive degree when it is not compared to anything. The comparative degree when it is compared to other thing, to more than one thing. But superlative degree when it is compared to all the other things. Let us have an example here. Small exists. She is small. Comparative. She is smaller than Ria. We are comparing 2 things here. And remember, the word used to compare is than. T-H-A-N. Superlative. She is smallest in the class. Means she is being compared to more than one person. She is being compared to a whole group or bunch of students, and we are using the superlative degree. And with the use of superlative degree, we use the definite article the. This is how you can differentiate between which degree of comparison it is if you are ever confused. Positive degree, no comparison. Comparative degree, 2 things are compared. Superlative degree, 1 thing is compared to a whole bunch of things and it uses the definite article the. Smooth becomes smoother, smoothest. Beautiful, more than 2 syllables will become more beautiful and most beautiful. Bad, It changes completely into worse and worst. Similarly, little also changes completely into less and least. Let us come to the exercise related to comparative, superlative and positive degrees of adjectives. The rules are given. I shall give one example each and you will write down another examples on your own in the book itself. So for adjectives of one syllable and some adjectives of more than one syllable, you have to simply add er and est to make the comparative and the superlative. But if the adjective ends in e, then you have to only add r and st. For example, tall. Tall is one syllable, so it will become taller, er, and tallest, est. You will give the next example on your own. Now, when the positive degree ends in y preceded by a consonant, change the y to I before adding er or est. For example, lazy. Lazy ends with y. Now, when we are going to make it into lazier and laziest, we will remove the y and we will write I and then we will add er and est. Lazier, lazier, laziest, laziest. You will give the next example here on your own. If the positive degree is a one-syllable word ending in a single consonant with a vowel preceding it, that consonant is doubled before adding er or est. So what is the rule here? For example, slim, S-L-I-M. Slim is a one-syllable word and it is ending with consonant. What is the consonant? M. But before the consonant there is a vowel. What is the vowel? I. So when we are going to change it into comparative and superlative, first we have to double the consonant and then we have to add er and est. For example, slimmer, slimmest. S-L-I-M, slim. S-L-I-M-M-E-R, slimmer, and S-L-I-M-M-E-S-T, slimmest. If the adjective is of more than two syllables, then add more, most before the positive degree. So now we know that if any adjective is of more than two syllables, for example, beautiful, three syllables. So the words, the positive, the comparative and superlative of this would be more beautiful and most beautiful. So you will hunt out another example and write it down here in the book itself. Let us move. Fill in the blanks with nouns that match the adjectives. One has been done for you. This is really easy. One is done, but however, I shall do one more for you. A piece of cake is good. A big piece of cake is better. A big piece of cake with chocolate icing is the best. Okay, so a horror movie is scary. A horror movie with monsters is scarier. A horror movie with monsters at night is the scariest. I've done the second one. The rest three you shall do it on your own. Okay, rewrite these sentences in your notebook using the degrees of comparison given in brackets without changing the meanings. I'm not going to do all for you. I'm going to discuss the first two, alright? What you have to do is you have to, according to the direction given in the bracket, you have to rewrite the sentence, but the meaning should not change. Mary wrote a better essay than anyone else in the examination. Superlative degree. So we can write Mary wrote the best essay in the examination. This sketch is the worst that I have ever seen. Comparison or comparative degree. This sketch is worse than any other sketch I have seen, or this sketch is worse than other sketches I have seen. Than is there and worse is there, so comparison. And whenever you make positive degree, you have to use as and make it into positive degree. Okay, you shall do it on your own. Coming to the additional exercises in your textual book. Fill in the blanks with adjectives formed from the words given in brackets. Life is never easy for comfort-loving people. We have turned it into adjective with the help of the word ease. This painting truly brings to light her creative talent. Poetic compositions of ancient times have lyrical quality. He has an excellent command over mathematics. Your proposal is not acceptable by any means. So you get the idea of it. The words are given in the bracket and you have to make its adjective and fill in the blanks. Do it in the book itself. The adjectives in these sentences are missing. Place a slash where the adjective must be added, then fill in the blanks with the correct degree of the adjectives in bracket. Alright, so here what we are going to do. This knife is than the other one. We have to use the word sharp. Where shall we insert sharp? This knife is sharper than the other one. Comparison. Most people in the village think that he is more intelligent than his father. We'll write here more intelligent. The painting was sold to the highest bidder. Similarly, you are going to do the rest on your own. Coming to the exercise C. Rewrite these sentences in your notebook using the degrees of comparison given in brackets without changing their meanings. You have to do this in the copy. I shall help you with the first three. Okay. No other student in the class is as intelligent as Rima. Superlative degree. So we are going to write Rima is the most intelligent student in the class. The meaning does not change and we have turned it into superlative degree. The Caspian Sea is the largest lake in the world. We have to make it into positive degree. No other sea in the world is as large as the Caspian Sea. Large is the positive degree and the meaning has also not changed. Goethe was the greatest poet who wrote in German. Comparative degree. No other poet who wrote in German was greater than Goethe. Rest of the sentences you are going to understand according to the bracket in which degree you have to change it, and then do not change the meaning by any means. Okay, do it on your own in the copies. Exercise D is a creative one. However, you're only going to do any two of it. What do I mean? See, here is a word bank. Draw sketches of faces in your notebook using suitable adjectives from the word bank. For example, you will take these features. Eyes, one feature, any one, drooping. According to drooping eyes, take another feature, eyebrows, bushy. Nose, let's say hooked. And find the meaning of these. What does it mean? And accordingly, you will draw a face that has drooping eyes, bushy eyebrows, hooked nose, hollow cheeks, thin and small mouth, and they have a pointed chin and a square face and curly hair. You have to choose like this and make a complete picture. So you'll make two sets of drawing, okay? Now here are three topics given to you and you have to write on an essay of about 300 words on any of the one topic listed below, and you have to express your thoughts and opinions by using a lot of adjective words that you have learned, meaningful adjective words of course, and you have to compare the qualities using the degree of comparison as much as possible. The topics are the best place you have visited, comparing it with two other places that you liked, or the best book you have read, comparing it with two other books that you found interesting, or your favorite film, comparing it with two other films that you enjoyed watching. So far, this is the additional textual exercise. Now for the last part of your exercise, we have a comprehension here. A brochure is given. Brochure means something, an advertisement piece that is bigger than a pamphlet, but it has less number of pages than a magazine. More number of pages than a pamphlet and less number of pages than a magazine. And it has mostly advertisements or for publicity. So here is a picture of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and here is a small descriptive piece. The marine paradise of India. Come have a tryst with its crescent-shaped milky beaches and stunning coral reefs. Feast your eyes on its elusive dugongs and shoals of flying fish. Make fun trips through the heart of its dense green forest and feel the warmth of nature in the vicinity of its active volcanoes. This is the description. So many adjectives have been used here. Now, located right in the middle of the clear blue waters of the Bay of Bengal is the cluster of islands known as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The clean environment, the green forest, the unpolluted and fresh air provide a haven for naturalists. Topographically, the hilly islands are fringed with coconut and palm trees, covered with tropical jungles, and interspersed with flat stretches of crescent-shaped beaches. Tourists from all over the world throng to see the scenic beauty of the islands. You can approach the islands either by ship or by air. So you're going to use your Oxford English Dictionary and look through the meanings if you're confused with any. So after reading these comprehension, you have to answer these following questions. How does one reach the Andaman Islands? Which three words are used to describe the environment of the Andaman Islands? Write true or false, and then you have to make your own sentences from the words located, vast, and haven, and then you have to tick mark the right answer. Do it in the book itself. So that brings us to the exercises where we build vocabulary. Fill in the table with the meaning conveyed by each prefix and three words starting with each prefix. One has been done for you. The prefixes are those words which are used in front of a word and a new word is created. So hyper is a prefix. It means to an excessive degree, and the words starting with hyper are hyperactive, hypersensitive, hypertension. Let us see the third one, multi. Multi means more than one. The words that we can make is multicolored, multiverse, multilingual. So use your English Oxford Dictionary, find the meanings of all these prefixes and create three new words each. Do this in the textbook itself. The next exercise, here you have to match the prefix with the word, and whatever new word is formed, you have to write down in the blank near the word. Misinterpret, irresponsible, antisocial, maladjustment, supernatural, multicolored, autobiography, overtime, transform, hypersensitive. So we have made new words with the help of these prefixes. The last exercise here, make three words in your notebook using each of these suffixes. Opposite to prefixes, suffixes are added at the end of the word and they are used to form new words. So the suffix here is tion, shun, and three words that we can create by using these suffixes are production, prevention, preparation. Similarly, you will use the next four, some, ly, est, ing, and make three new words each. That brings us to the end of this lesson. We have discussed all the exercises thoroughly. If you have any doubts, we are going to discuss it once again in the live classes. Here are the assignments that you are going to do. All the textual exercises that we have discussed so far are to be completed in the grammar book. And exercise C given on page number 21 and exercise D, I told you any two drawing you have to do in the English copy, and exercise E on page 22 has to be done in the English copy. That's all for today, children. Thank you and take care.